He built the greatest hit machine in music history. Berry Gordy turned Detroit into a factory of legends: Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder. But for every star he launched, there were voices he turned away. Voices he said the world didn't want. He was wrong, because Britain heard what Gordy couldn't. And the singers he rejected? They didn't just survive, they became icons. This is the story of 10 artists Berry Gordy passed on, and the country that made them forever. Number 10, Kim Weston. She stood in front of Berry Gordy and sang her heart out. And for a moment, a brief shining moment, he said yes. Kim Weston was signed to Motown in the early 1960s, recorded duets with Marvin Gaye, and looked every bit the superstar the label needed. She had the voice, she had the presence, she had the hunger. But then the politics started. Royalty disputes, creative disagreements, a growing sense that her artistry wasn't being protected the way it deserved. By 1967, Gordy had quietly pushed her toward the margins of his empire, and Kim Weston had a decision to make. She chose herself, and Britain chose her right back. The UK soul circuit was unlike anything America had built. The clubs, the ballrooms, and the late-night rooms packed with working-class music lovers who had discovered American R&B through pirate radio. These were people who listened with their whole bodies. They knew Kim Weston's voice. They had been playing "Take Me in Your Arms" until the grooves wore thin. When Kim landed in England, she wasn't arriving as a cast-off. She was arriving as royalty. The British crowds gave her standing ovations that Motown's boardroom never offered. She toured consistently through the UK well into the 70s, her powerful contralto filling rooms that genuinely understood the depth of what they were hearing. Berry Gordy built a machine, Britain built a temple, and Kim Weston was one of its first saints. Stay with us, because number 9 is a story that starts on the wrong side of an ocean and ends in front of thousands of screaming British fans. Number 9, Jimmy James and the Vagabonds. Now this one is different, because Jimmy James didn't get rejected by Berry Gordy in a boardroom. He got rejected by America itself. Born in Jamaica, cutting his teeth on the American live circuit with a raw volcanic soul voice, Jimmy James and his group had the talent that should have made labels fight for them. But the timing was wrong. The sound was too gritty, too unpolished, too honest for what the major labels wanted in 1964. America wanted smooth. Jimmy James was fire, so they crossed the Atlantic, and Britain went absolutely wild. Jimmy James and the Vagabonds became one of the defining live acts of the entire British soul scene. The Marquee Club in London, the Twisted Wheel in Manchester, the Golden Torch in Stoke-on-Trent. And these were rooms that functioned as spiritual experiences disguised as music venues, and Jimmy's voice was the sermon. Enormous, unpredictable, full of genuine ache, it connected with British audiences on a level that no American label executive had been smart enough to anticipate. They charted in the UK. They packed theatres season after season. They became living legends of the mod and soul movements that shaped an entire generation of British music culture. Bands that would later conquer the world were sitting in those audiences, taking notes. Berry Gordy was building a polished product. Jimmy James was delivering something real and irreplaceable. America wasn't ready for it. Britain had been waiting its entire life. And the next name on this list? A woman whose voice was so powerful, so undeniable, that it made record producers genuinely nervous. That nervousness cost them everything.
If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update, and the real stories behind the music that built the world we live in. Don't miss the next one. We will see you there. Back to the countdown.
Where your music takes me.
Number 8. Doris Troy. You know this voice. Even if you don't know her name, you have heard Doris Troy. She sang background vocals on Pink Floyd records. She appeared on Rolling Stones sessions. She was the secret ingredient in recordings that went on to define an entire decade. But before all of that, before Britain adopted her completely, Doris Troy walked into Motown's world with her own songs, her own ideas, and her own undeniable creative power. The reception was cold. Gordy's machine had its templates, its carefully constructed pipeline designed to produce a very specific kind of star. Doris Troy didn't fit. She was too independent, too self-directed. She had already written and recorded Just One Look, a genuine hit, and she knew her own worth better than any label could tell her. Motown's loss became Britain's extraordinary gain. And Doris Troy moved to London in the late 1960s and fell completely in love with the scene, and the scene fell in love right back. Apple Records, the Beatles' own label, signed her. She recorded alongside Eric Clapton. She became embedded in the living DNA of British rock and soul in ways still being discovered by new listeners today. She wasn't just accepted in Britain, she was celebrated, treated like the creative force she had always been. Berry Gordy passed on a woman who went on to shape British music history from the inside. Number 7 is a name you absolutely know, and the story of why Motown's door never truly opened for him is one of the most painful in the genre. Number 7. Billy Paul. Before Me and Mrs. Jones made him a household name, before that devastating, perfectly constructed story of forbidden love became one of the greatest soul records ever pressed to vinyl.
We both know that it's wrong.
Billy Paul was a man trying to get a foothold in an industry that kept moving the ground beneath him. And for a significant stretch of his early career, the doors of Detroit's hit machine were simply not opening.
We both know that it's wrong.
Billy Paul was a jazz-trained vocalist with a uniquely raw, emotionally unguarded approach to a song. He didn't perform lyrics, he inhabited them. He let things bleed.
At the same place, the same cafe.
He let silence do work. He let his voice bend and crack in places where Gordy's artists were expected to stay perfectly controlled.
Same time, and we're gonna hold hands like we used to.
That authenticity was exactly what the Motown machine couldn't package, and so it quietly showed him the door. Britain.
We're gonna talk it over, talk it over.
However, particularly the northern soul scene, spreading like wildfire through the English Midlands, and the North heard something completely different in Billy Paul's recordings.
Hurts so much, it hurts so much inside.
They heard soul music with the edges still intact. They heard a man who meant every single word he delivered, who couldn't fake it if he tried.
Same cafe, 6:30.
His records became floor fillers on the UK circuit years before America fully caught up.
Now she'll go her way, and I'll go mine.
By the time Me and Mrs. Jones exploded in 1972, Britain already knew who Billy Paul was, already loved him, already considered him part of the family.
It's strong, but it's much too strong.
What Gordy heard as imperfection, Britain heard as raw humanity. And that difference, right there, is the entire thesis of this list.
At the same cafe, 6:30.
Number 6 is going to reframe everything you thought you knew about one of soul music's most ferocious voices.
We meet every day.
Number 6, Linda Jones. She was called the female James Brown. Let that sit for a moment, because that is not a comparison people made lightly. Linda Jones possessed one of the most explosive, physically overwhelming voices in the entire recorded history of soul music. She didn't perform a song, she detonated it. Her live shows were not concerts, they were events. People wept openly. People were carried out of venues on a wave of pure emotional impact that nobody had warned them was coming. And Berry Gordy, sitting behind his desk in Detroit, reportedly heard her and decided she was too raw, too uncontrolled, too much, too much. Linda Jones was too much for Motown. Take a second with that. Britain found her through the underground channels that the Northern Soul movement had been carefully building for years. The record collectors hunting imports, the DJs spinning rare American sides at all-nighters that ran from midnight straight through to dawn, the obsessive fans who were constructing an entire musical culture 1 7-inch at a time. When word spread that Linda Jones was available to tour, the bookings came faster than anyone expected. What British audiences experienced when they finally saw her live was something that changed people permanently. She brought church meeting intensity to secular stages in a way nobody in Britain had witnessed at such close range before. These were not pop concerts with choreography and polish. They were full-scale conversions. Linda Jones never received the mainstream recognition her voice demanded, and that is a wound that serious soul lovers carry to this day. But in Britain, she is, and always will be, spoken of with absolute reverence. Number 5, you genuinely need to be ready for this one. Number 5, Oscar Toney Jr. Here is a name that casual soul fans will not recognize, and that absence is precisely the crime we are here to discuss.
If we should meet,
Oscar Toney Jr. had a voice that lived somewhere between the weathered warmth of Otis Redding and the sly precision of Joe Tex.
we just walk on by. Excuse me, brother. How you doing?
Warm without being soft, authoritative without being aggressive, utterly believable on every syllable he ever committed to tape.
Oh, darling.
He recorded genuinely stunning sides throughout the mid-1960s, including a version of For Your Precious Love that serious collectors, people who have spent decades comparing recordings, will quietly tell you is superior to every other version that exists.
To hide around.
Oscar Toney Jr. could flat out sing. Motown wasn't interested.
They're gonna find us.
The label that prided itself on identifying Southern-influenced soul talent somehow looked directly at Oscar Toney Jr. and couldn't see what was standing right in front of them.
Oh, we're gonna be there. Stay there.
So he became a name that Northern Soul DJs in Britain treated as buried treasure.
And oh, I know it's wrong.
His records on the Bell label became some of the most aggressively sought-after imports on the UK circuit.
All the street.
DJs who found clean copies of his singles guarded them the way a jeweler guards a rare stone.
Oh, we're gonna stay there.
Crowds who heard him at the Wigan Casino or the Blackpool Mecca responded like they had been waiting years for exactly this sound.
We will meet.
Oscar Toney Jr. never had the career his talent demanded, but within the Northern Soul community, a community with a long proven track record of being right when everyone else is wrong, he is immortal. Gordy's machine missed him completely.
Well, we're gonna stay there.
Britain's underground preserved him forever. 4 spots left, and the stories only get more extraordinary from here.
You and me.
If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update, and the real stories behind the music that built the world we live in. Don't miss the next one. We will see you there. Back to the countdown.
Listen, you don't mind if I come back there, do you?
Number 4, Tommy Hunt.
I always end up.
Tommy Hunt had already tasted real fame long before any rejection. He was a founding member of the Flamingos, one of the most elegant, harmonically sophisticated vocal groups in the entire history of doo-wop. He had the credentials most artists spend careers trying to build. He had the voice, the experience, the stage presence that comes only from years of performing at the highest level. When he moved through Motown's orbit, looking for the next chapter of his career, the label wasn't interested in what he was offering. The timing was off. The fit didn't match the machine's current priorities. Gordy had his roster, his system, his highly specific vision of what a Motown artist was supposed to be. Tommy Hunt, with all his experience and talent, didn't slot cleanly into that vision. So he went to Britain.
And how many times I tried.
And Britain gave him something America never once offered: a second act, so powerful, so celebrated, that it completely overshadowed everything that came before. He signed with Spark Records in the UK and recorded Loving on the Losing Side, a record that became one of the most beloved Northern Soul anthems of an entire generation.
That kept me from admitting.
When that piano line drops and Tommy's voice rises over it, the dance floor doesn't fill gradually, it erupts all at once.
Always end up.
Tommy Hunt didn't merely find an audience in Britain, he found a community that treated his music with the devotion and reverence of a congregation responding to something sacred.
How many times I fall. That's the.
He eventually settled in Britain, made it his permanent home, still performs there today. Berry Gordy's loss became Britain's lifetime gift.
I'm always rushing like a fool.
3 entries left, and number 3 is the most stunning act of label blindness that soul music history has on record.
Loving on the losing side.
Number 3, Lavine Hudson. This entry sits in a different time period, and the weight of it is actually heavier because of that. By the 1980s, Berry Gordy's Motown had relocated from Detroit to Los Angeles, dramatically shifted its sonic identity, chased the pop crossover market with increasing desperation, and built a signing philosophy around a very narrow commercial template. Lavine Hudson did not fit that template. British-born and of Caribbean heritage, she was possessed of a voice that held both genuine gospel fire and a sophisticated, intelligent pop sensibility. The kind of combination that a truly forward-thinking label should have been building its entire future around. Motown looked at what she had to offer. Motown passed. Virgin Records in Britain had no such confusion about what was standing in front of them. And they signed her, developed her properly, and in 1988 released Intervention, a powerful, gospel-rooted, emotionally honest R&B track that became a real hit. British audiences heard it on the radio and immediately understood. This was not just a pop record. This was a voice with genuine conviction and something real to say. The video received heavy rotation on British television. Radio programmers embraced her warmly. Music press critics reached for words like revelatory to describe what they were hearing. Lavine Hudson's story proved something important, that Motown's blindness to certain kinds of excellence was not a product of the 60s or the pressures of a specific moment. Decades later, the same institutional failure was still operating. Britain, as it had always done, was simply paying closer attention. 2 names left. Number 2 is going to stop you completely. Number 2, Bobby Paris.
I don't love you no more.
Bobby Paris is the name that brings serious Northern soul collectors to a full stop mid-conversation. Because what happened to Bobby Paris is not simply a story of one label passing on one artist.
Now you're trying to tell me.
It is a story of complete systemic failure, the kind that still feels like a crime when you lay out the facts and look at them clearly.
What a fool you've been.
Bobby Paris recorded sides for multiple American labels throughout the 1960s. Beautiful records. Aching, perfectly constructed soul records built with genuine craft. His voice was warm and precise in a way only the rarest singers ever achieve. Not showy, not theatrical, just devastatingly quietly right. He had the quality that makes someone sound like they are singing only to you in a dark room at exactly the moment you need it. Motown never came calling, and no major American machine found a place for him.
Yeah,
His records were pressed in small quantities, distributed poorly, and quietly forgotten before most people ever had the chance to hear them. And then the British collectors found him. A copy of Bobby Paris singing Night Owl surfaced on the Northern Soul circuit and moved through the community like wildfire. DJs competed to own the cleanest copy. Dance floors responded with the kind of immediate, total surrender that only the truly great records produce. Bobby Paris, unknown in his own country, became a genuine hero in a nation he had never visited. His records command serious money in original pressing today. His name is spoken with reverence in every serious room. The machine missed him. Britain found him. One entry remains, and it is the one that changes everything. Number 1, Frank Wilson. There is one record in the entire history of Northern Soul that exists above all others. One record that collectors have paid more money for than any other 7-inch the genre has ever produced. One record that stands as the single greatest act of deliberate waste in the entire story of soul music. It is called Do I Love You, Indeed I Do, by Frank Wilson, and it survives in the world in only a small number of known original copies, each one worth more than most people earn in a year. Frank Wilson was not rejected by Motown. Frank Wilson was signed by Motown. Berry Gordy's own label. He recorded Do I Love You in 1965, a furious, joyful, completely irresistible track driven by a rhythm that will not let your feet stay still. The record was pressed, and copies were physically manufactured and readied for distribution. And then Berry Gordy killed it. Because Frank Wilson had made a personal decision, he wanted to leave music and devote his life to ministry. He was choosing faith over fame. And Gordy, in an act of either pettiness or wounded pride that defies rational explanation, chose to bury the record rather than release it without its artist available to tour and promote. The surviving copies drifted underground, found their way across the Atlantic through the collector networks that fed the British soul scene. When Northern Soul discovered Do I Love You, the community treated it like a sacred object, which, given Frank Wilson's own spiritual journey, is a kind of perfect irony that feels almost written. A single original copy sold at auction for close to £25,000. The most valuable soul 7-inch ever recorded. A record Berry Gordy tried to erase. A record Britain raised from the dead and made immortal. Frank Wilson went into ministry and has said genuinely that he has no regrets. But the music outlived every decision ever made about it. It is the most iconic Northern Soul record in history. And Berry Gordy is the man who tried to make sure nobody ever heard it.